Hi guys, so we have Kirti here with us today. She has done her master's from LBS. She has been a mentor at Alconnect for about 2 years now. She's helped n number of students get into almost all schools of the world. I'd say HEC, INSEAD, ESSEC, Imperial, NUS, NYU. I mean, all sorts of schools, and bunch of them have gotten into schools with scholarships as well. She has a lot of experience, but more than that, she also knows the side of being a student doing MIM at a top school like LBS, right? Which is part of the creamiest layer of schools of the world. HEC, LBS, INSEAD, these are the toughest schools to get into, right? So, first of all, thanks a lot, Kirti, for taking out time to do this. Do you want to give us a short introduction, or maybe share something about yourself, and then we can get down to the Q&A?
Yes, so thank you for having me, Kevin. And somebody was really good. Thank you for making me feel nice about it.
Right.
I never put it all together, but to introduce myself, I am Kirti. I graduated with a master's in management from London Business School. Like Kevin said, I don't know if it's like the creamiest of the creamiest.
No, it is. It is.
Let me be humble. But before that, I was an electronics engineer. I did my electronics and communications engineering from VIT Vellore.
Right.
And then I worked at Intel for a bit. I worked at Bosch for a bit. And then I did a few other things in between before coming to LBS. And right now I'm working in London at an AI startup.
Thanks a lot for that, Kirti, first of all, right? So, first question that I would ideally want to ask you, right? Your subjective opinion again, right? How do you think is the job market in the world, right?
Anywhere in the world?
Anywhere in the world, not specific to UK, anywhere in the
I think it's bad.
Okay.
For the lack of better words.
Right.
I will be honest, I'll be direct
Right.
throughout. This is the forewarning that
Right.
how it's going to be. But I think it's harder than it used to be.
Right.
This is not my first job. I have worked before. It was never this hard.
Yeah.
Have not received so many rejections. No's
Right.
no's are a little new to me.
Right.
At least in India, it was far better. And I've heard people here also say, I have friends who graduated in 2022, 2023, where that like we just went and got a job. But this is also COVID and
Yeah.
a little bit after COVID, but people were hiring a lot and all of that.
Right.
But it is particularly hard now. Everyone is struggling. It is a little sad to see that even if you end up at the top B school, it could be Imperial, UCL, LBS, Oxford, Cambridge, even if all of those people are struggling, then I bet you point the finger.
But one quick question, right? So even in this, bunch of people who are struggling, right? There might be some people who are getting jobs, right? Like even for example, you are currently working in, London right now. So, do you think there's like a common trait or something between those profiles that are getting hired, or is this purely luck, or your previous profile before the MIM definitely comes in handy?
I used to not believe in luck as much.
Okay.
but I will be, again, I'll be honest, it is, I think, a combination of all of those things. Your previous experience helps a little. Even if you don't have previous experience, I have seen people who had been very tenacious, very consistent, very persistent in their job search.
Yeah.
It is not easy. Doesn't mean you won't get it or it's impossible. I have seen people end up at big tech, big four with sponsorships.
Okay.
And all you have to do is work hard.
Okay.
And
And
as
Indians?
easy as that.
Are we talking about Indians?
Yeah.
Indians?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my Indian friends are working at great places.
Okay, that's amazing. So I think that's a positive point for some people who would want to look at, schools like LBS and...
For sure, you just need to know how to, it's just like applications, right? Resumes and interviews are just like applications.
Right.
You just need to learn how to sell yourself. You just need to pick up a few skills that will let you sell yourself.
So like positioning, right, eventually, right?
Positioning, your storytelling. Why do you want to work somewhere? It is very similar. Why do you want to come to LBS? Why MIM? Why now? It's the same sort of story. But of course, you need to have skills.
Yeah, hard skills.
And of course, there is AI and everything. Anything you need to pick up. I think to answer your question a little more accurately, the common thread is hard work. is persistence. It's
Yeah.
for me or for anyone else. It hasn't been easy,
Yeah.
but taken a bit more or way more than a bit of hard work to get here.
Yeah.
But yeah, you will eventually get there.
I'm sure you must have you're having friends right now who are at HEC or maybe ESSEC, and you've helped people get into such schools also, right?
Yeah.
Would
Yeah.
you say if someone is not having any sort of experience, right, like just maybe a couple of internships, right, would you say getting
Okay.
into French schools will be a little better because there are internships inside the program itself and they are longer, so they get a little more time to find jobs? Do you think that factors come into play?
Not necessarily. Like I said, I don't believe in it being hard or impossible. I
Yeah.
think you can do anything you
Yeah.
really want to do. But I will agree with the advantages of going to French schools.
Yeah.
I do see, because 1 year program ends like so fast. You get one chance. You're thrown into the recruiting cycle because as
Yeah.
soon as you come, the recruiting cycle starts.
Right.
So you're literally being attacked from all directions.
Yeah.
Do you do extracurriculars? Do you do academics? Do you go do exams? Do you do applications? Do you do case prep?
Yeah.
It's all at once. Whereas with the French schools, I think you get a couple years, so you can get, settle in, find friends, go to classes,
Yeah.
get your resume ready, go to internships, because you're building experience in that country, which should help,
Right.
given that you don't have a lot of. I would see all of these as advantages for sure.
Makes sense. I think that's the same thing with US programs also. There are like 9-month, 10-month MIM programs.
9 months, 10 months, and they go super fast.
Yeah.
So you get one chance, and when you go into a business school,
Yeah.
one of the first options you think is consulting, and recruiting
Right.
cycle is long.
Right.
So yeah,
Makes sense.
rather than being stuck in that one cycle for 1 year,
Yeah.
I'd rather.
Makes sense. So again, to give you a spot, right, where you are judging profiles, because now that you're an experienced mentor, consultant, right? So to judge profiles, right, let's say you had to reject 80% of applicants, which is what usually these schools do because their acceptance rate is between like
Yeah.
12 to 15%, you can say, right?
Yeah.
What patterns would you notice purely based on your experience?
Like I tell everyone, I think there are 3 factors mainly.
Yeah.
I believe that there's 3 factors, and you need to have at least 2 stand out in them.
Yeah.
1 is academics,
Yeah.
2 is extracurriculars, 3
Right.
is your work ex.
Right.
You need to have at least 2 spectacular things out of those 3. If not, you have a great story built on all of this. If one is lacking, you make up for it
Yeah.
by writing a super sharp, nice human essay,
Human
because
essay.
that's becoming more important now.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I
A
mean,
little more personal, little more personality,
yeah.
which is
Right.
also lacking.
Again,
I think positioning. All the applications we have seen so far, or we have been seen to be successful so far,
Yeah.
the common factor has been that.
You think an average profile, right? Like maybe purely on the basis of, let's say, the places they have done internships, the colleges they have studied with in India, right? Or maybe their score, right? Do you think an average profile can look a spectacular profile just via positioning, or do you think that's a little too exaggerated?
With applications and stories,
Yeah.
yes, they are a little exaggerated, because how else do I convey my specialness
Yeah.
via essay? I can do the most amazing things possible, and I can play it down,
Yeah.
which sometimes people tend to do. Especially female candidates tend to do that, I feel. Like, you can do great things. Either they will forget it along the way, or
Right.
they will be like, yeah, but that's not a big deal.
Right.
But you make it a big deal.
Right. Right.
Sometimes I think for you, because you're seeing it or you've seen it for so long, for you it feels like a small thing and a normal thing, an average thing.
Right.
You just have to make it a not average thing. Not everyone does things. Not everyone plays in national basketball. Not
Yeah.
everyone plays violin.
Yeah.
Not
yeah.
everyone leads clubs in colleges.
Yeah, I think almost everyone has something that, if we go deep into it,
Stands out.
yeah, it stands out. And if you're able to present it well, and more importantly, I think connect it to the school in some ways, like, how it is going to add value to the cohort. I think that has worked out well for almost all the applicants we've worked with, right?
Yeah, you just have to dig in sometimes.
Yeah, but it's just a thing, like, people are not ready to think, right? Like, a lot of students are still using AI for the first drafts. It has like doubled our work, right? Like, our content team is right now engaged in converting AI drafts into human drafts, and we are after students say, please don't use AI, right? That's another task. I think I'm
So much for AI killing jobs.
yeah, I think we're gonna be starting. We'll start adding an AI penalty fee to students. Right, that's the way we'll now generate revenue. Yeah, coming on to the next question. What's one thing that you feel applicants feel like is, let's say, very very important, but adcoms rarely care about?
Their academic score and GPA sometimes is not as important as you think. Yes, it's a big factor.
Yeah.
But you don't have to have 9.8, 9.6 to get into LBS or INSEAD or ESSEC or NYU or anything. There have been, we have seen, I think, a lot of cases where they have 8 something.
Yeah.
And they've gotten into everywhere.
But still, I think 7, below 7 is like little too less for...
Yeah, of course. Then it's sort of a sign, right? This is because they have nothing on you. You are a bunch of numbers on a paper, these bunch of stories on a paper.
Yeah.
So you make sure you give the best on this paper. They have nothing on you to decide. Let's say Kevin is applying, all I get is Kevin's CV and Kevin's essays. That's all I'm judging on.
Another question, or maybe your opinion on this, right? So a lot of people would reach out to us, let's say the deadline is in 15 days, right? And they reach out to us 20 days before or 15 days before the deadline, right? And they would assume that, okay, the person who's helping, right? Someone like you who is from LBS, right? Who is a student over there or who's working right now in London, right? They do assume that they're gonna give time every day to their applications. Do you think, first of all, that's a possibility for a mentor to do it every day? Secondly, do you think 15 days or maybe even let's say a month, do you think it's enough to wrap up the applications in the best way? Of course, you can do anything that you want. You can do it in 5 days also, right? But when you justify things,
you can do it in 1 day.
Yeah.
You can do it in 1 year.
Yeah.
Will it be the same? Is a more important question, right? It's a more important question. Sure, I wish I can give you every hour of every day. I cannot.
Right. Unfortunately.
I don't even have that time to wash my head.
Right. So, I mean, that's a place where I've seen, so people usually see their life and they see deadlines and they see, I'll be able to do it, right? But would the person who's helping you out be able to do it?
Yeah, another funny thing about working at this AI startup on a more commercial site is only because it's urgent for you doesn't mean it's urgent for the rest of the world.
Yeah,
right?
that's
and you understand as well, because you want things to get done fast doesn't mean they get done fast in a timeline you want, which is not. I'm sure have expectations, but then sometimes it could be unrealistic. 15 days is still okay for one application.
Okay. For one application.
For one application, but the faster you get done, the more chance you have, the easier it is. Submitting an application is battle one of the war. People forget when we do applications, even me, I'm like, wow, this process is never ending until you step inside that school.
Right. I mean, that's a different. Another question would be, do you think is networking as important as they say, right? Like it's that important just because there are no on-campus placements when you go abroad, right?
So LBS had a bit of on-campus placements. They won't spoon feed you. They'll be like, here's a presentation, go if you want.
Okay.
Right? That's kind of thing.
Okay.
And not like in India, this is mandatory, you have to go.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that. They're like, okay, all these bunch of options we are giving you.
Yeah.
You can go. They will come to you. They will come to campus. That's there.
That's great.
But again, networking, right? It depends on which sector you want. There are sectors that it's more important than others. Like consulting, everything is standardized. Everything is so networking might not fully help there, but I have seen people where networking helped them. Again, with networking, it's what you make out of it. How much can you put yourself out there? How much are you comfortable talking to a stranger? How much can you make them your friend? How much can you ask for a referral? How much will it help in your process? What do you want out of networking, right? I stopped seeing networking as so transactional.
Okay.
Initially, I did not like it because everyone made it sound so transactional. And network, a referral.
Right.
You're done.
Right.
I'm like, no, it happens anywhere. It happens randomly sometimes. Even if you want to network, sometimes it doesn't happen because you can force it. Now I'm like, okay, I'll make them my friend, or I just want to build relationships. I'll keep up with them. I'll tell them what's happening.
Right.
I'll ask what's happening and all of that. Cold outreach has worked for me.
Right.
Sometimes there were times where people would pause, or even for interviews where they've interviewed me because I randomly emailed them with funny things.
Okay. I mean, we might have to, record a different video for that then. Yeah.
No, it's too embarrassing. I don't want to show people.
No, so well, that's really interesting, right? So you just want to break the pattern and, I think grab the attention to...
Yeah, one, don't think of it as that transactional. I
Yeah.
get it. That's how it's framed. Two, do it for more than just transactions. Do it to learn. Do it to, because how much from the internet or AI will you know about a company? There's only so much you can know. There's so much people can tell you.
Right.
Yeah, try to get a conversation and try to understand. People are busy. Follow up.
Yeah.
Be less egoistic about it. Get over it.
Last question, I think I've taken a lot of your time. Sorry for that.
Absolutely. Fine.
Based on your experience, Kirti, right? Like, so how important do you think a GMAT is? Do you think it's a deal breaker if you don't have a 6, let's say 85, 695 when you're applying to schools? Do you think it's a deal breaker, or maybe a GRE of, let's say, be 26, 27, right? According to you, what do you think?
326, 327.
Yeah. I mean, just
Okay.
a good, very good score.
Yeah. I was going to add GMAT before when you said when people think it's really important, but it's not.
Yeah.
But again, I would be contradicting myself with my own scores
Right.
if I say GMAT is not as important.
True.
Like I said before, you are your application, people.
Yeah.
That is all they can see. So when you want to press foot forward when you do it, right? So I would say it's fairly important. A lot of people think if I have less than average score of that school, it's not worth it to apply.
Yeah.
But no, I give it a shot. Make other stuff strong. This is
Right.
exactly why I already want your academic score to be strong, or your extracurriculars to be strong, or your work is to be strong.
Yeah.
So there is a strong story there somewhere.
Yeah.
If it's not GMAT, to make up for it, so that you can explain maybe quantitative stuff are not really my strong skill. Maybe leadership is my strong skill, empathy and social service and sports. I have so many other things. I'm not one thing. I'm not
Right.
one score.
Right. So
Yeah.
It's one of the 3-4 things that are very important when you...
Yes, but you have to have something to make up for it. You
Yeah.
cannot just be it would be great if you have a strong thing to make.
Yeah.
I have seen people get into schools with lower what you would consider, what an average person would consider low GMAT score.
Yeah. I think the lowest one has
So
been
it's not-
615 that you worked with, here at AlConnect. 615, and she got into HEC, INSEAD and ESSEC, all 3 schools.
Yeah.
Highest one was 715, right? But again,
Yeah.
to let you know, she couldn't get into HEC. She got into ESSEC, but she got rejected from HEC, right? So, and then I think she got into a couple other great schools.
Exactly. No, that you make a great point.
Yeah.
So there have been so many. I have seen my own friends with great GMAT scores be rejected by the same schools people have gotten into with 600. This
600.
is normal. This is OG GMAT. This is
Classic GMAT.
Yeah, classic. But 600 is still 100 points lower than the average.
It's actually, way worse than 615 of Focus Edition 600. So it's like a 555 score.
Yeah, but they had a startup and
Yeah.
it was doing great. So they had a great story.
I think, Kirti, that's it from my side, right? That's what I wanted to ask you. That's what I wanted to share with the people who might be watching this, right? To all the 300 subscribers out there, AlConnect. And all the future students who are going to be watching our videos, right? I hope this is very helpful, Kirti. Even if they're working with us.
I was on Reddit threads, I was
Yeah.
on YouTube, because I was doing it by myself. There was no one to tell me what to do.
Yeah,
And that's one of the reasons I'm doing this, because
Right.
I'm like, okay, I want to be someone's
right.
not alone in the process.
So, thanks a lot.
But yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Sorry I yapped so much.
Some key, aspects of not just like getting into schools, but maybe getting jobs also, right? You shared. I learned
Yeah.
a lot of new things in the call, right? So, thanks a lot for that, Kirti. Thanks a lot.